Hello, I'm Charles Moffat, and this is a lot of fantasy books. So here we go. Um, Earlier this year, back in January, I decided to start doing unboxing videos and then also start making reviews. Now, I've been writing reviews for years, but what I wanted to do in the future is to be doing more video-based reviews, which I think really is the way that the future is going to go. That people want to see honest reviews and they want to see people talking about the books that they really enjoy. And obviously, they don't want spoilers, but they do want to see people actually talking about them so they can know, like, okay, why did they actually like these books? So earlier this year, I was very focused on reading the Witcher series. So I finished reading four of the books from that Witcher series, and I've decided to take a break. And I'm currently over here, as you can see by these. I have been reading Fire and Sword by Dylan Doose, and then last year, I started reading this one already, which is the third of the Raven Shadows books by Anthony Ryan. I've been reading his books now for years, and I really enjoy his work. There is some things that when I get around to finally reviewing his books, when I finish the trilogy, I'm gonna post a review on that. And there are some things that I don't really like about some of his books, but I'll get into that during the reviews. But yeah, this is what I have to read that I want to read sometime in the coming months during the winter and during 2021. So let's start over here. I've got Children of Virtue and Vengeance, which is the second book by Tomi Adeyemi. And I'm expecting these ones to be turned into a movie sometime in the next couple of years. So the first book will be turned into a movie, and then it'll be the second one. And apparently that's being made by the same people that made the Twilight series of movies. And then Kingdom of Souls is another Afro fantasy book, which as you can tell, I'm a bit into Afro fantasy books. I enjoy them very much. Then there's The Death of Nanji, which is book 4 of a series that I read the series back in the 1990s when I was much younger than I am right now, and I really enjoyed that book by Dave Duncan. There's the set of 3 books by Dave Duncan, and he a few years back came out with book 4. So I'm excited to read that one. The Arrow and the Crown. Judging by what I've read from this about this so far, apparently this might be a bit of a rehash of Beauty and the Beast. But it's got archery in it, so I do like archery books. So that's just a thing with me as far as that goes. This book also has archery in it. But I've never really read a Tolkien book and then finished reading the whole thing. There's a problem with Tolkien. He tends to talk a little too much. He's like, there's just a little too much description and a little too much exposition. And there's problems there that I don't really like. The Story of the Evil was a book that somebody sent me a few years ago back, and I've been wanting to read it, and it's just I haven't got around to it. I don't really like the cover on this thing. It's too shiny. You'll notice that most books have a matte finish. Not many people go for the shiny finish. Shiny finish like this usually means that the book is actually a non-fiction book. You don't usually get like all these other books are matte finish. Yeah, this just seems, sticks out a bit. All right, so we're looking forward to this one, which is a love story. Is just like this one's effectively a love story. But Brendan Luthien is a love story, and set in a fantasy world as far as that goes. And as far as I can tell, judging from the histories of Tolkien and his wife, his own personal wife, this is kind of like a metaphor for the relationship between him and his own wife. So I am looking forward to that. The problem with, I did start reading it a while back, and there's a lot of exposition stuff going on here. And I'm kind of worried about just how much exposition there will actually be in this book. Because it's too much exposition makes me want to throw a book across the room. That's just the way it is, okay? Now, I also like books with witchcraft in it and things like that. So Sage, Smoke, and Fire down here by Ryan Kurr. Is that giant book, by the way. This thing is huge. It's like 600 pages. Yeah, over 600 pages. And it's huge. So that was going to take me a while to read. I don't know how long it's going to take me to read, but it's going to take a while. And then The Wood Witch's Daughter is comparatively smaller. And I have a hunch it might be a romance too. I'm not sure. But we'll see what happens. That one's by Kate Seger. And then there's the Witcher books. Now, I mentioned earlier that I'm taking a break from reading these. So that's true. But I am going to go back to reading them probably later in 2021. So I'm going to try reading these again and try to finish reading this whole series and maybe get like the 7th book and so forth. But for now, I'm just taking a break from reading these. And then there's The Dragonbone Chair by Tad Williams. So I've been wanting to read this series of books that he's written for years now. Same thing with this. This is another series of books I want to read. And I just haven't got around to it. And so yeah, I bought the first book earlier this year, and it said, okay, I'm going to read this thing. I'm going to get around to it and finally read it. And then Our Wizardiverse, same deal, Ursula Le Guin. I have read one of her short stories before. I've watched a movie based on some of her work. And I would certainly like to read her work. It's just I haven't got around to it. And so both of these are basically classic books that I've wanted to get around to reading. Same thing with Barron and Luthien to some extent. That's essentially a classic Tolkien story that was never finished by Tolkien himself. And it says here, right here, edited by Christopher Tolkien. Now, I've read some stuff edited by Christopher Tolkien before, the Unfinished Tales, and that thing was horrible. Yeah, you have to kind of read the stuff that he's edited and published, as far as that goes, with that grain of salt, and be like, yeah, there's going to be problems with this story. And you kind of wish they would just hire somebody to write it properly and finish the edit off and just say, okay, it's Tolkien and some other author with him, and then the story's actually finished. A finished product that actually makes sense as far as that goes. So yeah, these are the books that I'm currently reading, and there's other books that I read earlier this year that I'm just not showing off here as far as that goes. But I'm looking forward to reading all these. 14 other books here, plus these two, so 16 books during 2021. And I'm also accepting submissions if there's fantasy authors that want to send me books and don't want mine being on the waiting list for me to post reviews of the work, because it's going to be a while. I admit it's going to take me a while to read all these. And then when I do read them, I'll be like, okay, finally, I can post reviews on these books. So I'm definitely looking forward to posting the reviews on that one. And then the same thing with Dylan Doose's book, because I'm really enjoying that one so far. Okay. That's all for now. And it's been a very interesting year, 2020. Yeah. A very busy year for me. I didn't get to read as much books as I would have liked to, but that's just the way it's been. I'm hoping I have more time and less stress during 2021. Let's all cross our fingers there. And hope that 2021 is a much better year. Okay, goodbye now.